Hello boys and girls. For this week's three-dimensional form, I'm going to have you build a square pyramid. In your tracer envelope, you will need two of the tracers you find in there. One of them is the square that you used last week, and the other one is a triangle. So you'll need the square that you used last week to make your cube, and you'll need a triangle. The square will become the base of your square pyramid. That's why they call it a square pyramid, because there's a square on the bottom. And the triangle will be used to create the sides, okay? Now there's several ways that you can trace this onto your file folder. Lots of them will work. But I wanted to give you a couple examples because I think it's interesting to think about all the different possibilities. You will have, or you should have, file folder left from your cube last week. You can probably use what's left from your cube instead of starting with a new file folder. If you ended up making a second cube, or you cut too many parts out or something and you don't have enough space, that's okay too, because I did send you with quite a bit of file folder. But I'd encourage you to save any file folder that's bigger than a square. Any little like spaghetti looking scraps, those of course can get thrown away or recycled, but any scraps of file folder that are bigger than a square, I'd like you to hang on to. Just put them back in your envelope, because later on you might find them useful for a couple other little building projects, okay? One way that you can set up your square pyramid when you're tracing is by putting a square in the middle and putting a triangle on every side. You would then cut all the way around the outside of that shape, and then on these lines that I'm making look dotted here, you would fold. So this would be the bottom, and all of those points would come up from the bottom, and you would have a square pyramid. Another way you can set up your square pyramid, I still like to start with the square. I feel like that's kind of handy. You can start with the square. Maybe you want to put just two triangles off of your square, and then you can put a triangle connected to another triangle. And you could do the same thing over here. So then these lines become fold lines, and these now dotted lines become fold lines. That looks a little crazy, doesn't it? But this totally works, because this triangle right here would fold up like that. This one would fold over, and it would attach right here on the side that does not have a triangle sticking off of it right now. This bottom triangle would fold up, and this one would fold over and attach over here. So this is another way that would totally work to make your square pyramid, okay? Just to stretch your brains a tiny bit farther, you also could set it up so you have your square, and you attach a triangle, and then you could attach another triangle here, and another one here, and another one there. And this would be a fold that would lift all those triangles up. And then these lines would also be fold lines. And so you'd have one triangle that lifted up, and then the others that just fold, 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 fold to go into place on the sides. Isn't that interesting? All the different ways that you can make a square pyramid. And there are more ways than that, but I just wanted to show you those three because they're so different looking from each other, and it's just good brain work to think about all the different ways that that could work. For this week's assignment, I'd like you to trace, neatly cut out, neatly tape together, and create a square pyramid out of your file folder. Please take a picture of it and upload that to your assignment. Thanks so much. Great job.